All right, hello everybody. This is Dr. J.C. Dornick, and this is a new kind of idea that we're going to instill once a week or maybe every couple of weeks, where we're going to highlight some amazing things that are happening with some of you, people that are in the group, the What's the Risk group. Just to catch you up to speed, we've started this process. We've made a decision to, go all in and, face adversity. Adversity could be the fact that over November and December, we've got all these great excuses to not do anything. I mean, what are they? There's the holidays, there's the fact that you don't have any money, all wonderful excuses. And that will lead into January, where most people think that the magic dust will give them the ability to, have this magical moment on January 1st. But what we recognize is that that doesn't work. And in fact, all of the bad, habits and behaviors that people are going to build up over the next 2 months are going to dwarf your willpower and your desire to get healthy. So what I decided to do is one morning I woke up and I just realized that I was living below the line of my potential. And for me, that is not okay, because in the eyes of my children, I want to be a good father. I want them to be proud of me. I want to be around for a long time. I want to have energy. I want to have mental clarity and all that stuff. So I said, I'm going to put my name, my integrity, my reputation on the line, and I'm going to go all in with my health. And well, it just created this huge movement, and we have over 400 people in the group right now, and it's really amazing. And just for the record, I just want to remind everybody, if you have joined the group, it's in your best interest, but it's really your duty to share it with somebody else. And what that'll do is elevate your game, and so on and so on. And my prediction is that there'll be well over 1,000 people. So what I want to do is I want to bring something really special to you, and share a story from the field of this amazing man out in Arkansas. His name is Derek Tutelo. And what I want to do is first I want to introduce a really good friend of mine, and a health coach, and just a buddy, parent of 3 children, a husband, and he's had his own health transformation, and that's Jeremy Pratt, who's helped quite a few people. And Jeremy, I just would love you to tee it up and just kind of explain how you met Derek before we get into it.
Sure. I've known Derek my entire life. We grew up together, played Pop Warner football together, got in trouble together at school, all the kind of stuff you do as a kid. When we got to our adulthood, you kind of, lose touch a little bit. And then, with friends' weddings, et cetera, we get back together. And through the years, life gets in the way, and sometimes health gets put to the side. A few years ago, I saw Derek, and just like I didn't recognize me when I had gotten to my most unhealthy, I kind of said to Derek, like, hey, this thing I did is pretty cool. I'm going to tell you about it. And, so for a couple of years, we chatted about it. And about a month ago, I guess, month and a half ago, Derek called me up and said, you know what, I'm ready. And his story so far has just been absolutely amazing. And I can't wait for you all to hear it.
And I just want to add a side note of just how small the world is, so crazy. So, first time I met Derek, I just knew him of this guy, Derek, but then I heard his last name and it just rang a bell. And then I realized, at 45 years old, sometimes I have to take a couple of minutes to realize things, but I realized Derek and I went to high school together for a little bit, and we just were blown away by it. So anyway, Derek's out in Arkansas, and, Derek is really taking control of his health. But, this is a story of having tons of adversity and excuses, but doing it anyway. So Derek, how are you, buddy?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me part of this.
Wow. It's our pleasure, our honor. So first of all, Derek, to date, how much weight have you lost?
Lost 30 pounds now, and I think it's been almost 6.5 weeks.
Okay. And when you first made the decision to go on program, what was the reason why you decided to go on program? Regardless of the program, what was your reason to finally do something about your health?
Well, I was going through a lot of challenges. One with my health. I was always feeling tired. I just had a newborn baby, And I knew at the age of 45, I either had to kick it in gear and make something worthwhile for my child in life. And I could tell you this, I always reflect back on this day. My 11-year-old son sitting at the table with me and said, "Dad, I've never seen you skinny." And that hit a nerve of mine. And I knew it was it needed to happen. And so I feel like not only just for me, but for my family, and to pave that new road of new generations of what health is about.
Awesome. So there, what you're hearing there is you're hearing what he wants and the power behind it, why he wants it. It's not just about him, just like me, just like Jeremy. It's about his kids and the motivation. So remember, the whole idea of the group, what's the risk is, there's a risk with everything. What's the risk of going all in and doing something about it, which requires time and money and all that stuff, versus the risk of doing nothing. So Derek, what makes your story so unique is that day that you decided to go on program and take charge of your health, you had a couple of challenges to face in order to do that. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, the first one is having a newborn baby and not having a wife that's not working and totally taking her income away, where we counted on her income every month to be able to survive. And we have done a rehaul of the budget. We've actually even cut all of our cable out to be able to afford. And then also on top of that, I told my wife the day I got involved, instead of it coming fully out of our budget, I would go give plasma twice a week in order to pay for my food and commit myself fully to the program, because I knew how much I needed it. And it didn't matter what it took at that point. It didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered what would happen. I would have figured out a way. And so I give plasma. Yeah.
People hear that and they're like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, explain what it means to go donate plasma and how much money do you get for it?
Yeah. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday and Thursdays, and I get to the plasma center at 6 a.m. I sit there for about 2 hours, and I get paid per week only about $60. So it's about $240, and I'm only about another $60 away from my goal. But then on top of that, now I'm selling food to my workplace every Thursday night to about 25 people. I cook enchiladas and bring them up there and sell those. And even to keep the program moving in the right direction, I was telling these guys earlier that I'm fixing to go get another job from 8 to midnight, and there's a lot of risk involved in what I'm doing right now with, regardless, I added another bill, which would be the program, but not really, because that's just a part of your sacrifice and your commitment to getting healthy. And then, and now I'm able to, hopefully in the future, which I know it'll happen, is financially get freedom from the program by helping out thousands of other people feel what I'm feeling and be able to make them enjoy what I feel each day.
So but Derek, what motivates you to do all of that? Because we live in a world where, somebody wakes up and the window's open, it's a little bit chilly, and they use that as an excuse to not move forward. What is the driving force behind you going through all of that to get healthy and put so much time and effort? I would assume you're not getting a lot of sleep. You've got a lot of stress involved in it. Yeah. But what is it that gets you up and gets you going?
Well, I can see I have a vision. And I follow my vision and my goals every day. The vision of being able to be 70 pounds lighter and then have a reputation. My reputation at work was a guy that used to diet and get big again, and used to diet and get big. And even that's a motivation for me every day, to be this consistent person in life and to be a very disciplined person in life, because through the program, you learn to be disciplined and you learn to hold yourself accountable probably more than anything in your life. And the risk I've got with all this is my reputation's on the line, not only just at my business, my community, my church, and then also with my family, most importantly, my kids, to see a dad that not only stays with a program, commits to a program, but then helps and gives it back to other people.
That's what it means to be all in, right? So, I mean, here I am. I think I'm doing something crazy by going perfect on program, and every now and then I wake up at 5 a.m, right, and I work out, and everybody looks at that and they say that's so inspirational. But man, now you know why I am so inspired by all of you people. That's what makes me do it. And here's just an example of somebody that is using this. It's funny. Excuses, you hear me talk about the bag of bullshit. And what an excuse is something that excuses you from taking responsibility for your life. And those are the things that we procrastinate. But this group, this idea is an excuse for you to go all in, and you're taking advantage of that. So on the other side, right, you just talked about all the risk that you're putting on the line to get what you want, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of just unknowing of what the future holds, but you're doing it anyway. What would be the risk of you doing nothing? What would happen to your life if you did nothing about it?
Well, I think one is automatically I would. I mean, I was on my way to having a heart attack. I already know, and I was on my way of teaching my kids that it was okay to, like you're talking about, creating excuses for everything. When you're in a body that is overweight and obese, you're automatically making excuses why you should eat bad stuff every day. So you're in excuse mind. So it's even when you start creating bad habits in the food, you create bad habits in your life automatically. And so it all goes hand in hand of what we do with the program and how it affects you mentally and how it affects you physically, to be able now to take it to your next generation of your children, to now teach them the habits of health.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. For all of you that are listening, look up at the number of the Facebook page, and you see that number growing. All of you can inspire somebody else. I mean, Derek's about to inspire thousands of people. And just imagine, how amazing that's going to be when we create a movement. And what I wanted to do is I just wanted to pick somebody. There's so many of you out there that have amazing stories, just so inspirational, so many of you, which is what gets me up in the morning. But I just wanted to pick a real special one because I know that it's going to hit home to a lot of people that are going to realize, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but you're going to realize that, maybe that excuse you're using, right? Even people that are in the group, that are still not all in like Derek is, maybe this gives you a little bit of a different perception of, maybe your excuse is not worthy of holding you back from your dreams. So Jeremy, thanks so much. I'm sure you're having just a ball seeing your friend, and being his coach. What an honor for you. And Derek, thanks so much for sharing. And, if I had $1 million right now in my hands, I would bet it on Derek. You know what I mean? Because Derek's all in. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.